head over to Barrie. Thank you, Grace, for sending this in. A look at your adorable dog. Now, that low pressure system made its way through and it impacted a lot of southern Ontario. Barrie was one of those areas, cities that saw a lot of snowfall, but Gracie's dog loved the snow. Thank you again for sending this in. What can we expect? Well, going into tonight and tomorrow, we might see some of that snow off of the lake going into the overnight, but really nothing too significant. Really, for the most part, we're going to see a lot of that drier temperature as this high pressure system makes its way through until the weekend. Probably Saturdays when we're going to see more of that precip. So in terms of wind gusts, it was extremely windy, especially as that low pressure system made its way through. But right now, for the most part, it is very calm. As the days, by Tuesday evening, we might see a little bit more gustier winds, but again, for the most part, pretty calm, nothing significant to report. Now, the temperatures are very mild, which is great news, but yes, we're going to dip down to the minus freezing mark going into our Wednesday morning as this Arctic air makes its way through, but it rebounds going into our Friday. We're going to be above seasonal at that point. Now, again, we saw a lot of that snowfall in Toronto. Vancouver also saw that as well. Here is Tyler to take a look at the comparisons. Thank you, Tyler, for that, but no snow to report. Maybe a little bit on Tuesday, but otherwise it's going to be a very dry week going into Toronto, and much of the same for Kitchener. Now, I want to show you the 7-day. So again, very, very mild. It's going to be 1 degree by Friday. It bumps up to 0, and then 2 degrees on Saturday, just a little bit of snow. Here's a look at southern Ontario. Good news, we do have a little bit of snow off the lakes, but nothing too significant, so some scattered flurries going into our Tuesday. But for the most part, it is going to be a relatively dry week as this high pressure system makes its way through. And yes, it might be a little cold right now, but by Friday, I promise you the temperatures are going to be at 0 and plus above freezing. But for the next couple of days, Toronto, this is what you can expect. Yes, some of that scattered flurry going into your Tuesday, but again, nothing too significant. Wednesday is going to be a very nice and sunny day. Kitchener, much of the same. Pickering, it is going to be -3. Now, a new art installation in Toronto is helping people get outside despite the winter chill. Here is Marta with more on that. Let's take a closer look at southern Ontario. Well, tomorrow we might see some scattered flurries, especially around the lake going into the overnight and Tuesday morning, but really nothing too significant. This is really good news. Now, this high pressure system makes its way through, bringing with it a dry stretch this week. So that is also positive news. However, we will see, and I'm going to show you the Arctic air that gets pulled down slightly to Wednesday. We might see some of those frigid temperatures, -2. I'll take a closer look at that in just a little bit. But as the high pressure system makes its way through, that's when we're going to notice a dip in those temperatures. But Friday, it's going to be above seasonal and above freezing. So again, it's going to be 0 by Tuesday evening. It does dip down further, -6 going into our Wednesday morning. But Friday, again, 0 and possibly +2. So let's take a closer look at what we can expect tomorrow morning. Yes, those scattered flurries feeling like -5, bundle up, and then by the afternoon, 1 degree. And then again, some of those flurries, but nothing too significant. We shouldn't see any accumulation over the next 3 days. Wednesday is going to be nice and shiny, -1, and then Hamilton, much of the same, and then Kitchener, again, sunny skies on your Wednesday, feeling like -3, and then just partly cloudy on your Thursday, feeling like -4. But I wanted to show you the 5-day because look at that. So again, 0 on Friday, and then it starts to get milder. So on Saturday, 2 degrees. Yeah, we might see some precip, and then 2 degrees on Sunday. Now, Kobe Bryant was killed in a helicopter crash. How fog may have contributed? Here is the story. I love how dogs enjoy the snow so much. I don't know why, but I love that. Now, we have a poll question for you. Paris, of course, sometimes referred to as the city of love. Now, what do you think is the most romantic spot to check out? Would it be A, B, C, or other? You get to weigh in with your opinion. Go to Twitter at Weather Network. And Tuesday morning on The Brief, we're going to let you know what you have decided. Again, the most romantic date spot. Now, not so romantic, this is actually really important. The Toronto Zoo is helping animals who really enjoy the warmer weather adapt to our winter season. Here is Mark with more on that.